Do you really wanna taste it?
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Metalcore Nerds, the podcast that combines heavy music and pop culture. I am your host, Sean Mott, and today we're talking Peacemaker. Probably one of the best comic book shows in recent memory. We're going to talk all about it, and I have two very, very special guests. First off, first time on the show, very good friend of mine, the host of For Nerds by Nerds and High on Horror, my favorite horror podcast. No lie, the smoothest voice in all of podcasting. Josh, what is up, my man?
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me. So happy to be here.
Of course, man.
Let's talk about that intro real quick.
He does have a smooth voice, Sean. You were fucking right, dude.
I don't lie, dude. I don't lie.
If you're listening,
you like that new intro?
If you're listening to this in podcast form, you just missed quite the intro. It was awesome. I saw so many beautiful faces of all my friends on there.
Dude.
Yeah, I just made that yesterday.
Am I in that highlight reel? I didn't even pay attention. I was too busy rocking the fuck out.
No, you're not, dude.
I have
Maybe
a goal
I'll
in life
later.
now.
But,
my goal in life is to be in that intro.
Maybe I'll clip something out.
There you go. I've already
this and put it
emailed
in
Sean
there.
Show. Hi, everyone. I'm the other guest. I really want to taste it, and I'm Joel Cupcake.
If you've listened to the podcast, you know Joel. He's only been on the show about fucking 50 times at this
Am I
point.
the fucking record holder?
You have to be. You co-hosted a show with me, and then you've been on other episodes. There's no way anyone has been on more than you. No way.
That's fair. I like that.
Yeah.
As long as I have Dan
Yeah.
beat, that's what makes me happy.
Dan's been on twice, and once was with you. How could you?
That's what I'm saying. Dan,
But anyway, if you're
doesn't
new to
really
Metalcore Nerds and you're not used to Joel totally derailing my show in the most insane ways possible, like I said, this is a podcast that combines the worlds of heavy music and pop culture. Usually, everyone that's involved has been involved in the music industry or just loves music. I mean, Josh fucking sound clipped Austrian Death Machine in his podcast before. It's fucking sick.
Goddamn right it is.
Really? And when that happened, I was like, "Holy fuck! This dude is my friend, and I love it." So yeah, we're here to talk Peacemaker. We're fresh off the Book of Boba Fett after show, and Peacemaker has been a pleasant surprise in all of our lives. But before we dive into the DC world, I wanted to talk about what you guys have been watching lately. It's like a new thing we've been doing on the show. We talk about what we're watching. So I recorded the Book of Boba Fett show a few days ago. So I'm going to be honest, I haven't really watched anything since then. Sorry, guys. I did watch AEW on Wednesday, but that's like a normal thing. And I saw John Mayer last night. That was cool. But that's all I got.
Respect.
That's all I got. He sounded incredible. It was kind of like pressing
Yeah, I mean-
play on the record, and that's how he
I
sounded.
mean,
It
he
was fucking
kind of has to. He's John fucking Mayer.
He killed it. He killed it. But Josh, what have you been watching? Lay some knowledge on us.
Probably the newest thing I've been watching is Murderville. Have you seen Murderville on Netflix?
Ooh. Will Arnett, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's so fucking funny.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard great things from many people.
Just the concept of the show alone is amazing, and I didn't even know it was coming out. It just kind of like snuck up on me.
Yeah.
Like he is a cop. He's the lead detective. And the entire show is scripted, but every week he has a guest celebrity new partner. So it's kind of like a game show because the guest partner plays themselves, and they're the only person that doesn't have a script. They don't know anything that's going to happen.
Huh.
And it's their job to
Interesting.
solve the murder by the end of the episode.
Oh.
Like there will be like three
I guess I
choices,
didn't know the full
and
premise,
they have to
actually.
pick which one's the murder and see if they got it right.
Oh,
Wow.
so it's like Celebrity Clue.
Kind of, yeah. But there's like an ongoing like story that is scripted. The chief of police is the detective's ex-wife. Like they're going through a divorce.
Oh Jesus
She's
Christ!
dating
shit.
one of the new detectives. He's just
My
a
goodness.
mess.
Man, that sounds amazing. I didn't know the full premise of it, I guess. That makes
Yeah,
me
yeah,
even more
seriously.
excited to watch it.
The only
Damn.
bad part is there's only 6 episodes, and I
Oh,
hope they
bummer.
bust out more fast because it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's always a good sign when you're like, the worst part of it is that it's not enough. You know, that's always a great sign with shit.
Yeah.
And I gotta check that out. There's so much shit to fucking watch. It's stupid.
Well, you've been killing it lately. We talked about, you were on my show, by the way. You were on my episode of Four Nerds by Nerds podcast with Mash from
check it out.
Hops Geek News. It was hilarious. We talked about disaster movies. And we talked about
great.
some movies that you hadn't seen. And within like a day, you're like, all right, I've watched these 6 films and 2 TV shows. I thought they were all amazing. I was like, Jesus, dude.
That's Sean for you. That is Sean for you.
And that's also when my wife was on vacation, so I had a lot of free time on my hands.
Oh,
so I just watched. I watched 8 movies that weekend. 8, and I recorded like 5 podcasts or something.
Yes,
and one was mine, just one.
The life of not having children.
Yeah, I mean, I have dogs, but they're not the same. You just take them out every
not at all.
No. I realize it.
Yours are equally as adorable as children, though, Sean.
I mean, they're very. I don't think babies are very cute. Some are, but
some are.
There
are a lot of ugly babies.
Some are not.
I was a really cute baby.
I'm sure you were, Joel.
I'm just imagining a baby with this beard.
Yep.
Yeah, like his head on a baby's body. That's exactly what I imagine.
He literally looks like Jim the Anvil Neidhart right now.
You do? Holy shit!
I fucking like that, dude.
So I'm just picturing that on a baby's body.
Man, that's who I should be for Halloween, Sean.
Yes.
Actually, Trina and I were literally just talking before we started the episode because I told her what we were doing the show on, and I told Trina she should be Peacemaker and I should be Diebeard.
Well, dude, if you're gonna be Jim, like you should have Herbie Bret Hart.
Or I would, that or Natalia.
Oh, that's Herbie.
That would be
Bret Hart. That's way
she
cooler.
actually does.
Natalia sucks. I'll
has
say
a
it.
leather
I
jacket.
fucking hate Natalia.
Oh my God.
I've always hated Natalia. She's the
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
worst. Everyone talks about her like she's a pro. She's the best wrestler in the women's division. She's the fucking gold standard. Like she's on a level of like stardom with like Lita and Trish Stratus and women like that. Like,
yeah.
She's been wrestling for 20 years and she still can't run the ropes without hesitation. You're a fucking embarrassment to your family.
She definitely can't keep up with like Charlotte or Sasha. Like, there's no fucking way. Or Becky.
I do think she's better than she's given actual credit for, because like they give her the most terrible storylines. But yes, you were correct, my beautiful friend Josh. She is not all that in a box of rocks. You know what I mean? Like,
nah.
All this conversation fits too because we're talking about a John Cena show.
Oh, exactly.
It's true. It all ties together, man.
Is wrestling adjacent, dude.
It is
like life is wrestling adjacent, though. If you think about it. Anyways, what have I been watching? Obviously, I smashed through the Book of Boba Fett. Fucking incredible. Really changed my viewpoint. Really changed my fucking viewpoint on some Star Wars property stuff. So that made me happy.
I mean, episodes 5 and 6 were incredible. Yes.
Yeah. It was
the rest was fine.
Mixed bag.
I mean,
the rest was fine.
I liked all.
I liked it. No, I'm not dogging on it. It's just those episodes. I mean, those episodes, to be fair, were some of the best Star Wars things we've gotten maybe ever. So it's kind of hard to compete with.
Kind of be on their own pedestal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Boba Fett.
They
I like
been
Boba
in
Fett.
season 3 of The Mandalorian where they belonged.
No, I know.
Yeah,
right?
it's fine. It's fine.
But look at it this way, Josh.
It's fine.
That gives me so much. I'm so excited for season 3 because of the show. Like if every episode is like that, and we all know like the greatest villain Star Wars has ever written, which is not Emperor Palpatine, is coming. You know what I mean? So like all that coupled together, I'm ready, dude.
It's just weird that you can't watch. You can no longer watch The Mandalorian and be like, oh yeah, I have to remember what happens in this other show. Like if you ever try to binge watch,
it's like Marvel
4 seasons of The Mandalorian.
You know, it's like Marvel. You can't even watch the movies without the shows anymore now. It's like if you go into Doctor Strange without watching WandaVision or Loki, you're going to be like, how did this happen? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of the same thing. I mean, even things in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, if you haven't watched the animated series, there's definitely shit that flies right over your fucking head. You're like, who the fuck is this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like kind of.
I saw a Twitter thread of like, why is everybody freaking out about this blue guy? And I was like,
Like,
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Well,
I knew who
you're
he
right.
was, but I didn't
Well,
know
yeah.
how connected their story was because I haven't seen all
Oh.
of Rebels and
yeah,
all that. So I was like, I definitely know this guy, but like the significance of like how that ended, I was like,
right.
is this a big deal? And I asked my friend who like has seen all of it. He's like, oh
It's
yeah,
like,
it's a very
yes.
big deal. I was like, oh yeah, shit.
It's very big.
It's
But you know what, to be fair,
it's
to be
hard.
fair,
Yeah.
Josh, I watched all that stuff, and even when I texted Sean, I was like, I know my brain's missing like an important part of this plot hole. Like, why is there a hole in my head? And Sean reminded me, and I was like, oh yes, that's right. My bad.
It's hard too because a lot of it is like even a big part of it is technically not even in canon. I don't even know if it is canon, but there was like an unfilmed scene between the two where they dueled and it was a draw. And it's why there's that big play in Kedman, and that's how we got the Dennis element and shit like that. Now everyone's talking about it and everyone kind of knows about it. That's in this bubble, not the general fucking audience. Like the general audience kind of lives in this crazy like ignorance that I kind of wish I had sometimes. But
right?
It is what it is.
But
I like being a nerd. I like being a nerd.
Yeah.
I always just say, you're welcome. It's because of people like us that you get all this fancy shit, you casual motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's true.
That's
I'm something of a casual fan myself, Josh.
Yeah, I've heard.
I see what you did there. Mr.
It's an inside joke too. It's an inside joke too.
I mean,
a little bit.
I can figure it out.
But you can figure it out.
I'm not a fucking dummy,
But
Sean.
it is. We sat through movies like Steel so that you could get things like Falcon and Winter Soldier. All right.
Fair. But as far as what else I've been watching lately, obviously, besides all the shit Sean talks about on his show, Amazon is 2 for 2 with me right now. Amazon Studios. I watched Wheel of Time. And let me fucking tell you, if you want Game of Thrones with less incest, more magic, and twice the video production, Wheel of Time is fucking incredible.
I mean, you don't have to take the. You don't have to.
Is that the actual tagline? Actually, Wheel of Time, less incest, more magic. Amazon Prime.
It should be. Fuck. Like, let's put it this way. I know nothing about that series other than it's like a big selling book series, right?
Yeah, that's all I know.
I saw a bunch of people hyped about the show. I watched the first episode, and I literally like went through my nerd Rolodex, and I called everybody until I found someone that had read Wheel of Time because I was like,
was it Brandon?
I don't know what the fuck is. Yes, it was Brandon. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I need to know everything right now. And we talked on the phone for like an hour and a half. Like, yeah. So it's very.
I knew it was Brandon. This dude that Joel's friends with, he's been on the show too. He used to work for IGN.
Like super nerd.
Yeah, and he like any kind of sci-fi book, he's fucking read it. Or fantasy book, like he's read it.
Yeah,
he was hyping up Dune to me like 2 years ago or something. Like he's like, this is gonna be the best movie ever.
I feel that way with like every single one of these things that comes out. And it's always like based on the New York Times bestseller or like the historic world renowned trilogy, and I'm just like, no, never heard of it.
Well, I read a lot when I was a kid when all these books were like first coming out, and I didn't hear about like any of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bookshelf behind me.
I read Harry Potter when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, you're not old like me, Sean. So
sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, but yeah. So
sorry.
Wheel of Time was tight. If you were a Game of Thrones lover, check it out. It was tight. Good storytelling. A few notable actors and actresses. Some new up and coming ones that did like a beyond and phenomenal job. Really interesting take on magic. So basically it's set in like our future. Like in 2080, they find magic. They find magic and it's considered like the darkness, and they realize they can use it to like better manipulate like the earth for good. And then only women really use it, and then a man figures out he can touch the darkness. That's what they call it. And basically he causes an apocalypse that sends us back to the Stone Age. And so like all the people that use magic are women, and they use it in like a protective sense. And like any man that like has the ability to do magic, they like hunt down and murder because they don't want him to destroy the world again. And that's the premise. And that's like the world you're just dropped into. And you're like, but wait, why are you hunting the men? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, what? Huh? And but like the way they actually show the magic is very akin to the ways they've like shown the Force in the past. So I really like it. I think it's done very well. And then I just finished Reacher.
Oh, I've heard that's really good too. I love that actor. He plays Hawk in Titans.
Yeah, Hawk and Titans.
One of the
he was in
only bright spots in that show.
Yeah, he was in Hunger Games and he was in some other movie. But yeah,
he's been in a bunch of shit. Yeah,
that was done well. You know, I watched all the stuff with John Krasinski when they did Jack Ryan, so I already kind of like trusted them adapting like war books or war adjacent books. Dude, Reacher was real good. Very fucking bloody. Very like just a real ass movie. Like, not a lot of bullshit. Dude's just real smart. Action was good. I plowed through that in a day. I actually can't believe I didn't tell you that, Sean, ahead of time.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good things about it. People are raving about that show. I've been meaning. There's like there's so much fucking shit to watch. I just started Succession, but I've only watched like 4 episodes, and I don't know. There's I want to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I kind of want to rewatch the Nolan trilogy because Batman's coming up just for fun. Like there's so much shit to fucking watch, man.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the two main things I've watched. And then we just finished, or we're there's one episode left, but we're watching Pam and Tommy.
Oh yeah, I'm up to date from last week. I think it started off kind of not like it was like fun at first, but now it's getting like really good.
Yeah, like episode 1 was fun. Episode 2, like the CGI dick, I was not about.
It's prosthetic, bro. It's not CGI. It's a fucking puppet.
I don't even know what to fucking say to that, Sean. You know, that makes me even more.
I was dying laughing at the dick. The dick moving around and talking. I was losing it, dude.
I was like, what? You know, like, but
this was me. That can't be his real dick. And I looked up if it was his real dick. It's not his real dick.
Well, obviously. I mean, I don't
think that can't be Bucky's real dick on my TV.
I mean, yeah, unless like that's his super soldier serum is he can make his dick talk. I don't fucking know. You know, like I got nothing for you, Sean.
I had no idea until that came out that was a show. I swore that was a movie.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't sure if it was a movie or a show either. When they first posted that trailer and like the photos of them as their transformations, because that's the first time I heard about it. They like posted a picture of Lily James as Pam and Sebastian Stan as Tommy, and I was like, whoa, holy shit! I was like, they look nothing like themselves. I was like, this is fucking wild. Dude, and it is amazing seeing Sebastian Stan act like a fucking dickhead.
Oh, I was gonna say that last episode,
like a legit dickhead.
Yeah, there's that last episode when he gets thrown out of the Viper room, like the outfit he's wearing. I'm like, dude, he looks the part, and he is absolutely killing like this whole dickhead role. Like,
every clip I've seen so far, my first thought is, wow, they're making him seem a little too nice. Like I've seen clips of her like screaming at him and stuff, and he's just what do you mean, baby? It's okay. And I'm like,
he's super nice to her.
All I got from there, yeah, but I feel like that was not history because there were all those reports of him like freaking out on the set of Baywatch and shit.
This is like the very beginning. It's like they meet and they've been married for like not long. Yeah. It's like the very, very beginning of like everything with them. Yeah. So I'm wondering if we'll get to that shit. I kind of hope so. Of like him, like because you see him freaking out on literally everyone else. Yeah, but her, yeah.
Well, the next episode is the last one. I don't know how much they're gonna do because right now they're just basing it off that Rolling Stone article because Pam basically didn't give them permission to do the show.
That kind of sucks.
Like she wants nothing to do with it. Yeah, like I mean,
they're making her look like I like the way they're portraying her. She doesn't come off like an idiot. And it's like the way it like affected her is like very interesting of how they're doing that. Like I'm like, damn, you feel so bad. You're like, what the fuck? Like why? Because even the way the tape comes out and shit, it's like pretty fucked up. You're like, what? Pretty That's how it happened? Because I had no idea. It is very fucked up.
I hope this goes on for like 8 seasons and we get somebody playing Kid Rock.
Holy shit, that would be amazing.
Sebastian Stan doing both.
Yes, at the same time.
He just Joe Dirt's us real quick. Like,
oh my god, yes.
I'm gonna turn my mic off for 2 seconds and stuff this last Oreo in my mouth.
Okay, sick. Well, let's move on to some DC stuff. Obviously, before Peacemaker, we got to talk a little bit about the Suicide Squad because that was the precursor to all of this happening. So I haven't really talked too much in detail about the Suicide Squad. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Most of it I want to talk about Peacemaker, but I just want to chat with you guys about your feelings of the Suicide Squad. When I saw it, I was already stoked about it. I love James Gunn. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite MCU movies. Top 5. I love Guardians 2. I know some people don't really like Guardians 2 or whatever. They think it's too funny, whatever.
You know I love that movie, Sean.
I love that movie. The Yondu stuff, everything. Like he has such an amazing job of making you care about characters you have no fucking idea about and creating this like emotional depth within them. And it's coming out full force, especially in this series, but even in the Suicide Squad as well. It's like, you know, like we knew the actors, but like the only character probably any of us were really familiar with was obviously Rick Flag or like Captain Boomerang that we knew from the other one, but Harley Quinn. Like Harley Quinn's the most known DC character that's, and maybe you've like heard of Polka Dot Man or read some Polka Dot Man stuff, or maybe some Bloodsport stuff because of the stuff with Superman, but all of these are pretty unfucking known ass characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he brought them together, killed a fuck ton of them, which that scene was wild and very unexpected. I mean, he kind of said, he's like, don't get attached to anyone. We're like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then he kills one of the guys from the last movie in the first fucking 5 minutes and just like murders most of the team. And you're like, oh, fuck, it's like that. Okay, cool. That's what we're in for.
Yeah.
And it was, that movie was just such a blast. It was so fucking fun. The action was amazing. The comedy was great. He's just such a smart, like, writer. Like, I feel especially like, in the show, it's so fast. Like everything is so fast, and you're like, "Holy fuck!" Like, what? How? Like, how does he piece this shit together? It's insane.
Yeah, I feel like James Gunn is doing something that hasn't been done since we. Let me finish my statement before you laugh at me, Sean. Since we had like Batman and Robin, you know what I mean? Like those shows were at the time, those movies at the time. Were like, yes, they were cheesy and ridiculous, but they were fun action nerd movies. Like, I feel like everything these days is like you have on one side the Expendables, where it's just like too cheeseball, they're trying too hard, too ridiculous. Or you have the stuff that's just too low budget, doesn't look good, doesn't make sense, it's too niche. You know what I mean? James Gunn is like doing, like the movies are fun, but they're good movies. Like that, you know, it's not everyone can do that right.
No. He is he's become one of those directors like a Taika, or I mean to another degree kind of like Christopher Nolan or Tarantino or Denis Villeneuve. Like those are kind of on a different level and shit like that. But as far as like anything like comic book oriented, I mean, I'd watch if James Gunn goes like I'm doing a movie about whatever, I would watch it anyway. Same with Taika. But it's like they've like really kind of like carved out this role in like the superhero genre where it's like anything they do, I'm going to be insanely excited for, no matter what it is. Like I didn't know who the fuck Peacemaker was before like the Suicide Squad started coming out. And I was like, oh, John Cena's playing this guy who's supposed to be like a dickhead kind of evil Captain America. Tight. Sounds cool to me. And then you watch the movie and you're like, wow, this guy's a really big asshole. And that's like the coolest thing about it is you end the movie, he kills Rick Flag, and you're like, this dude fucking sucks. And like now we have to watch a show about him, but it's like you're like, oh, it's John Cena. He's like great in this role. Obviously, we're gonna watch it, but I didn't expect to see, which we'll talk about a little bit later, like the turnaround in the character, like they did it in the show. Because you go into the show being like, I fucking hate this guy. He's a dick. Yeah. Like he killed this dude who's fucking awesome. Like, what the fuck? But Josh, any other things you want to add on the Suicide Squad front here?
Yeah, I love that movie. I would like to see James Gunn kind of step away. It's a weird thing to say, like step out of the comic book realm, just to see what else he could do. Because he is kind of like Edgar Wright, because they both do like a lot of like syncing their music up to their movies and stuff like that. Yeah, I would love to see him do that in a style of something that isn't like fantastical. Like if he made a horror movie, but still did those same type of elements, that could be really, really cool.
Or if he like did Rambo 20, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we don't need another fucking Rambo movie. Man. Come on.
Well, like that was an example. Like if James Gunn did Rambo when Rambo was still like good, a good movie series, think about something like that.
That'd be dope. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be stoked for something like that. But that's a good point, Josh. It seems like he's kind of sticking with DC. He said after there was like another interview that came up today about after Guardians is done, and obviously he's doing the holiday special too that's coming out later this year, that he's kind of sticking with TV and DC TV for the most part. We know we're getting Peacemaker season 2, and there was word coming out that there's another spinoff coming. And he said after Peacemaker doing so well, it's closer to getting to that as well. And so it seems like he's going to be with DC for a bit after this. I know there's like rumblings of another Suicide Squad movie too.
But I think they need that injection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I like this
Suicide Squad.
This like vibe. I like this vibe of DC they got going on. It's like still kind of dark, but it's like funny. And the action is wild and brutal. And I love that. And it kind of like took what Shazam did, and Shazam kind of brought more comedy back to the DCEU. And then Birds of Prey was kind of like hyper violent and had the quality. The movie overall was like fine, but it was like a super fun movie, and it was brutal as fuck. And then James Gunn kind of came in and was like, I'm going to take this to another level. And that's what he did. And it's great. Like I'm interested to see how the rest of the DCU movies that come out this year kind of fit in with that, or if it's going to be like a complete tonal shift and be kind of weird. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about. I think Black Adam seems kind of serious.
Yeah. I think Flash is really what's going to set the precedent on what we can expect going forwards. Because like Aquaman, I think we all know what we're going to get with that for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's how I feel. Like I think Flash is really what's going to be like. Okay, are you turning your commitment to this universe up to 11 or not? You know what I mean? Because Snyder Cut was fucking incredible. If we're writing the Flash from Snyder Cut, okay, all right, but who knows?
That's where it becomes really muddy and confusing.
Yeah,
because we don't really know.
What do you guys think? I know it's your show, son, but I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you two think we're getting for the fucking spinoff? Like from the other project. Like I'm hoping it's Bloodsport, but I feel like we're getting fucking Ratcatcher. You know what I mean?
Ratcatcher was fucking awesome. I'd be stoked with the Ratcatcher show.
I'm not complaining. I feel like everyone's going to expect Bloodsport because it's Idris. You know what I mean? And like we're gonna get something like that.
Yeah,
Josh, what do you think
I'd be happy with a Bloodsport show, but
yeah,
give me a Polka Dot Man prequel show.
I would be so down. I love him so much.
Just melting people.
That actor killed it, dude. Like,
David Smallchin.
When I read that casting, I was like, okay, this will be good. And then I saw the movie, and I was like, okay, he was like him and Ratcatcher Girl were fucking, or Ratcatcher 2. Sorry, I don't know why I called her girl. My bad. Like stood out, dude. Like they just like I was like, oh, okay. And me, Sean, I don't talk about my heritage like ever, but me being Portuguese and that being her origin story and her being a Portuguese actress, can't complain,
I'd take a Ratcatcher 2 show if it was a buddy cop comedy style show with her and King Shark. Killer Shark.
Yes.
Yo, I love that.
I was gonna say, dude, I want a King Shark show, but I feel like it might be too expensive. And I don't really know what it'd be about, but I don't really care. Yeah. I loved fucking King Shark. Like he could be doing nothing, and I'd be probably fine with it. Another one that would be like money. It would be so money. Is if he took Margot Robbie and did a Harley Quinn show. I don't think they will, but like that would be massive. It would be huge if like James Gunn doing a Harley Quinn show starring Margot Robbie. Like it would be so massive if they did that shit.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we'll get. If like they pump out a couple more of these that are good, that we could probably get like they're doing with Obi-Wan. Like I feel like they've already said Obi-Wan is a limited series. Like this is a 1 season thing. It's gonna have a little bigger budget than maybe like Book of Boba Fett, but it's gonna be self-contained. Like maybe they'll do like an 8-episode thing of Harley Quinn, and it'll just be like a one-shot type of thing.
Because she did say she wants to keep doing the character. It's just comes down to time and place and story.
Well, it's a lot easier to get actors to do these things now because it's less of a commitment. It's only 6 to 8 episodes. It's not fucking 24 episodes a year or whatever like that.
Yeah. That was like the Steve Agee who plays Economos. He tweeted that the first 7 episodes took like 15 days to shoot, and the finale took like 21 by itself because it was all at night.
That's easy for them. That's such an easy schedule.
Yeah, even that. Yeah, it's like a few months. Yeah, instead of like 4 months to half a year to film like an insanely huge movie.
I heard they had to refilm all of Vigilante's parts for the first like 5 episodes.
Yeah, he came in like
actor.
mad late.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
I listened to an interview.
Yeah,
because I listened to an interview with Freddie Stroma, the guy who played Vigilante that we saw on the show. He was on the big thing, and he was talking about how he came in super late and was kind of had to go right into it. And I'm super glad that he's the one, because he's a fucking psychopath and amazing.
Yeah.
I love him. He's amazing. Yeah. It was just funny hearing the interview because he's British. So it's like, I was like, oh shit, he's British. But then it's like, I looked up his shit after like the first few episodes. I was like, oh, he's in Harry Potter, but it didn't click in my mind that he was gonna be British when I went to go listen to the interview. And I was like, oh yeah, he's British.
Who was he in Harry Potter?
He's like a kind of like a super small character. I can't remember his fucking name.
Oh, okay. Fair.
He was in Game of Thrones too, which I also don't know his character in that. But he was in
I was excited that they did Vigilante period because, like, as Sean and I, as one of like the few hundred fans of the Arrowverse, that they introduced Vigilante in that show as like as more of like a bad guy. So like I loved seeing the character get another like a fresh take.
Oh, is he in? I never got to that part in Arrow. Arrow kind of went
later on.
Yeah. After the bad,
he's kind of a bitch.
Like there's two really
not
bad
really a bitch,
of Arrow. Yeah, there's 2 really bad seasons of Arrow, and then when it picks back up, he's like the enemy. Like he's like
he's like the villain for like 2 episodes or something. Yeah, it's very short. It's not. He wasn't even like a season arc. He was like a few episodes, and they took him out or something.
Yeah, but like what he did had repercussions on the rest of the show. Yeah. Like so they did that kind of like basically like that show had been out so long, as you know, Josh. Like they introduced Adrian Chase as like the son of one of the first rich assholes he killed. And so they basically gave the fake Batman story, like I went and learned to kill people, all to prepare for this day. You know what I mean? So
I was out of that show after Damien Dark, and I felt like the Flash had fallen off at the exact same time. So I went from watching all of this stuff to none of it.
The only one,
it's very fair. I gave up on the Flash too after Arrow ended.
Yeah, the only one I lasted through was the Flash and Supergirl.
That new Flash stuff.
I never watched Supergirl.
The Power Ranger fucking shit with them lightsaber fighting with lightning bolts.
I haven't gotten to that part yet. Like Trina and I are like halfway through the last season, and I'm like kind of brewing getting there because like they like completely wrote off the daughter's death. Like somehow she's fucking magically back. Like all this bullshit, and then it's like after that, then they do the crossover. It's almost like they know they fucked up. And then there's like, oh, we canceled Black Lightning, and everyone's mad. Oh, Supergirl's over, everyone's mad. So they like do this 5-episode Armageddon special and bring literally all the auxiliary characters except Supergirl and Arrow back. So like Diggle's in it, the sister from Supergirl's in it, fucking Martian Manhunter's in it, like Arrow's daughter is in it as the new Green Arrow. Like everyone is in it.
Oh right, I forgot they did that.
Yeah, Mia Queen or whatever, or Mia Smoke. Yeah. Like, which I do love that actress, Catherine McNamara, or whatever her name is.
She was really good.
Yeah, but they brought everybody back, including Black Lightning, after they had canceled the Black Lightning show. Because I feel like they were like, oh, fuck, everyone's mad. And oh, fuck, we made Flash into a Power Ranger. You know what I mean? Like,
I saw a clip the other day of the Flash and Kid Flash not being able to catch somebody on a dirt bike. And it's like,
the fuck?
You're the fucking Flash.
He can time travel with speed. You can't get someone on a fucking dirt bike? What the fuck is that? Oh my god. I'm glad I stopped watching that fucking show. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, dude, everything's coming down to people trying to steal his speed. You know what I mean? Like next season.
Cool. That's only been happening for fucking 10 years now.
Well, yeah, but next season we're finally getting like the actual Godspeed. And then of course, like this Armageddon crossover, it's this like interdimensional traveling dude that's like the enemy no one's been able to defeat, right? And then in like the crazy future or something, he wins. And the only person that can defeat him is the Flash, who comes back in time. And then of course it ends up all being Reverse Flash and Thawne again. Like, what is the point? Like, why? This is what the fourth time they've
You're
done
not
Reverse
making
Flash?
me. You're making me more happy that I have no character.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love that show, Sean, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
There just comes to a point where you just gotta stop watching things you don't like.
Yeah.
Like all the executives on the CW must neg those actors. Just be like, you'll never be good enough. If you leave this show, you'll never go anywhere. And then they just hang out
back
for
up the
10
Brinks
years
truck,
of doing
man.
garbage.
Yeah.
The funniest part is the best show is the one that's considered the worst show.
What, Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow is like,
Ugh,
it's just
no,
hilarious.
no.
Dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
never watched it, and I won't.
most
Okay,
recent
no,
season-
okay, no. Let's
it's just so wonky, it doesn't even matter. Like, that's why I still watch it. I'm like, this is just so ludicrous.
Joel, I will promise you, there's 20,000 other shows that are way fucking better than that.
Oh, I know.
Like, so many.
I'm no argument.
So many. All right.
No.
I'm going to do a little brief summary of Suicide Squad up until the final 2 episodes. Then we're going to talk the final 2 episodes and a couple more other things. So, Peacemaker picks up right off the events of the Suicide Squad with Christopher Smith, a.k.a. Peacemaker, in the hospital recovering from that shot where Bloodsport shot a bullet through another bullet, him in the throat, and a building fell on him. Sucks. Can't believe he lived. I was shocked when the after credit scenes happened. He is once again recruited by Task Force X, run by a smaller outfit including Hardcore and Economos returning from the movie, as well as newcomers Murn and Adebayo. They are tasked with taking down the Butterflies, an alien race that enters the orifices of the body and hollows out a part of their brain and rides their bodies like Voltron. Those are James Gunn's words, not mine. Genius.
Love it. And I love that he used Voltron for the reference too.
It's
Like, makes me so happy.
literally perfect. So perfect. Doing this, they inherit their memories, but the host dies. Adebayo is Amanda Waller's daughter, and Murn is a butterfly himself, which I do love in the show when they present it as this big reveal. The other character, they're like, oh my God, they're this person, is like, yeah, I know. I love that about the show. It doesn't treat the characters in the show like they're idiots. I loved that. It was just amazing. Peacemaker's BFF, Vigilante, joins the fray as well as his pet eagle, Eagly, who was watched by his super racist and dickhead dad, Augie, while he was in prison.
The White Dragon.
The White Dragon himself. Never thought a racist Iron Man would look so cool, but he does. We'll get to that later. Basically, dad's super dick, racist, kind of the root of all of Chris's problems. Economos frames Peacemaker's dad when Peacemaker blows up a fucking butterfly chick with a sonic boom helmet, which was fucking wild in episode 1, and I did not believe it happened. I was like, oh, fuck. Because the whole episode, I was like, man, this is really cool. And then a chick fucking blows up into pieces, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what the show is. Cool.
Why did she want to bang him, though?
I don't know. I think it might have been the papers he had, because they had all that files, and it was on the butterflies. And maybe she noticed that is a good question.
The way they did it was like she saw the paper,
found it
afterwards, and was like, "Oh, I have to kill you now."
Yeah,
that is a good point. I don't know why they would want to fuck.
I mean, I'm not.
I didn't think about it that way.
That was a hell of a scene.
It is.
Growing up on wrestling, I never thought I would see John Cena fucking on like something like that, but here we are.
That's also well said, my friend.
Here we are. So they are tasked with taking out a senator's family, Senator Goff. They're all taken over by butterflies. They do so, but Peacemaker saves the one and keeps him as like a pet. Kind of weird, but kind of sweet at the same time. This whole time, you're figuring out that Peacemaker's more complicated than you thought he was. He's not really a bad guy at heart. He just kind of acts like a bad guy because of his dad. And then you find out later that he accidentally killed his brother and shit like that. A lot of emotional depth and weight to the character, which I really, really do love. It kind of reminds me of Johnny Lawrence and Cobra Kai. It's like he's kind of just doesn't get it. And he's not really a racist, sexist dickhead. He kind of just eludes that because he doesn't know better. But he learns in the process. It's nice. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. And John Cena, we'll talk about more of his portrayal, but this role was made for him. It's unbelievable. The shit
yes.
he does that. Unbelievable. So at this point, they track down where this plant where the amber goo that they feed off of, like weird little alien tongues out of the human's mouth. Super fucking weird. And they find out a factory where they're kind of transporting it and packaging it, and where they kill a fucking gorilla that kind of almost kills the chainsaw. Super dope. Great fucking moment.
Does he skin his ass
starting
raw?
to bond together? He does skin his ass raw.
Sorry,
You're
I
fucking
had
right,
to.
dude.
I fucking had to. Sorry.
At this point, too, the cops kind of realize there's something more going on to Augie. And there's an amazing scene where Augie and Adrian Chase, aka Vigilante, have this amazing talk, which is some of the best dialogue I think I've heard in anything ever of Vigilante going off on this racist group of individuals. It's pinned to our Twitter if you haven't seen it, which I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen Peacemaker, but if you're just watching this because you're curious, watch that fucking clip. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you just wanted to see our sexy faces, that's okay. But go
You're right.
watch this clip as well.
Completely fine. Sean
Yeah.
is like the third most attractive man I know. So that, like, I don't blame you. Well, yeah, I mean,
Third.
The Rock is 1 and 2, so like.
Wow. Okay, I'm behind famous people.
Yeah.
Damn. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But all right, so his dad gets out, and basically it becomes an all-out war. And as the cops are trying to take over Peacemaker, Goff gets away, takes over Officer Chang, and they completely take over the whole police force. So it's the White Dragon and a bunch of fucking racist people in hoods, and the Butterflies controlled by the cops, all after Chris. And then the cops also go on because Adebayo planted a journal with weird conspiracy-ass theories to kind of that Amanda Waller wanted her to plant to kind of blame all of this on Peacemaker. Really shitty. And that kind of brings us to the last 2 episodes, which are kind of like the biggest episodes that I wanted to chat more in depth with you guys. So is there anything else you want to add to that before we go on to the final 2?
Yeah, when the fucking Butterflies take over the police station, that's the most James Gunn-esque fucking thing ever. Like,
That shit was so dope.
The way this scene is like filmed with the music and the angles and the like, oh shit, and the like, you thought the one white cop, like the one white dude that was like her best friend,
was gonna get away.
Was like, you totally like, oh, you're like, yes, he's gonna make it, and then at the end you're like, oh no, he's left. Like, just the way the whole scene was filmed was like, I was like, this, like, if you don't watch this and you can't tell that James Gunn was either high or laughing all the way to the bank filming this scene, like, you have never seen a James Gunn property. You know what I mean? Like,
and the best part is all those actors had to do that with nothing, and it was all added in later.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
like,
So they had to all act that with nothing, which is unbelievably impressive.
The man
And I
is
have
a
to say,
visionary.
the CGI in this show is like Eagly is a fucking fully CGI character.
Yeah.
And he looks like
Yeah.
a real fucking eagle. It's fucking wild. Like some TV shows, even these kind of TV shows, I guess not the Marvel ones because they fucking give them all the fucking money. It doesn't matter. But if you look at
I
like
don't know. That
Titans,
4-armed thing in Boba Fett did not look good. That 4-armed monster that he fought in the desert,
that's
that thing
true.
looked like shit.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
weird with Star
The
Wars
Goro
because they try to
reject?
they try to almost make it look like shit on purpose to like match the weird stop motion they used to use. It's like a weird thing with Star Wars. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do agree it did look really out of place
Yeah,
in
it
like a
looked Clash of the
PS2 game.
Titans.
Yeah, it looked like a PS2 game for sure.
Oh Jesus,
That's fair. That's fair. But the CGI in the show is impeccable. And getting the face off with White Dragon and Peacemaker in episode 7 was really great. It was really good. Like I said, he looked way too cool to be a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
guess I
let's
did
also
skip
talk-
over the old man that was his neighbor who was fucking
He
hilarious.
was the
Oh,
best.
He was
God.
so
Well,
fucking
then,
funny.
let's not forget that fucking White Dragon randomly has access to this pocket dimension in their house. Like, I love
Yeah.
that there's no explanation on that. Just like, oh, he's a racist supervillain who can access, like,
Yeah,
he
that's
has
it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's like, and he has a pocket dimension that he keeps all his shit in. What?
I
That he
thought it was
builds,
going to
yeah.
be some sort of twist that he was like purposely raising him with negative reinforcement to like make him the best person. Like I thought he was gonna reveal, like, oh no, I love you with all my heart. I just raised you. I treat you like shit to like make you great because I'm so fucked up. And then it's like, nope, he's just a racist piece of shit.
Yep.
Because he kept being like,
really
he
just
kept
the
like
worst.
saying shit like, I didn't miss you at all. Like I didn't make these helmets for you while you were in prison. I didn't think about you. And it's like, I was waiting for him to be like, of course I did. I missed you, but you're a piece of shit because that'll keep your head in check.
I think my favorite part of the detail, and don't interpret me saying this being my favorite the wrong way, is that all the fucking racist people that followed him, instead of a hood, it was the fucking horns.
Yeah.
Like his helmet.
Yeah.
Like Trina was like, why is there 2 points? And she's like, oh, it's his helmet. I was like, wow, I actually cannot. I didn't put that together because I just thought it was just stupid. It was just pillowcases. So that those are just like the corners. You know what I mean? Like I didn't put it together right away. I was like, holy shit, honey. Like you are so that's wow. That James Gunn would. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and they were actually like labeled, like one was like racist honky or something weird, and another one was like they didn't have actual names.
Go watch that episode with the subtitles on.
The subtitles, yeah, the subtitles are like actually what they were listed in the script and how they're credited in the credits. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good. The show, like I said, the show is so fast with its wit, but then when it really has times where it gets serious, it gets fucking serious. Like when Myrn dies in episode 7, I'm like, I am sad.
Yeah,
I was
like angry.
bug. I'm sad about a bug, and then I think I'm like, oh, James Gunn, he's made me emotional about a fucking tree, a raccoon, a green lady, a
blue
bug.
Man.
Yeah,
like what the fuck, man? Like when you think about it, like this dude has made me emotional about anything. If you would have told me 10 years ago, I'd have been like, you're crazy. Why would I care about a fucking tree or a bug? And here I am.
I really didn't like Myrn in the first like couple episodes.
because
I was like,
it was after that twist.
This is clearly just an Amanda Waller replacement. He even sounds like Amanda Waller. His voice sounds like Amanda Waller.
Yeah, he does.
That amazing twist when you find out he's a butterfly. Yeah.
Once he had that conversation with Diebeard about like how he's starting to have feelings and stuff like that. Like I love that conversation where he's like, "You've never felt chilly before?" He's like, "I don't know. Is chilly a feeling? I guess so. I'm feeling quite chilly right now."
That scene was fucking unbelievable, dude.
That
it was so great.
And then the argument when the scene is just Peacemaker is just listing off like people he could have put the fingerprints names under instead, and just like doesn't stop. I was like, all right, this is pretty good.
That was all improv too.
We did not talk about the intro though.
Oh, I mean the best intro in the game. Bro.
I feel like if you skip it, like you should be shot in the face.
I have a friend who skips it. He's like, it's stupid, and I'm like, you're a piece of shit.
Not your friend anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to. Drop
he goes. He's like, man, the last time I get to skip the intro, and I'm like, you're a fucking monster. Don't talk to me. I was like, stop it. Dude, I was like, you're the only person who doesn't like this. The only.
Let's also talk about the most emotional moment of the show. Has nothing to do with any of the supporting characters. It's just when he's playing that fucking piano, dude.
Oh, I mean, that's not the most emotional moment, but that moment was amazing.
For me, it was. I was like, I could tell exactly what Peacemaker was feeling in that moment. And
he played that for real too, right?
I know. I was gonna say John Cena has beautiful hands, and it just that scene got me, bro. I was like, fuck. I was like, you've done it, James Gunn.
I tweeted about that scene because a lot of scenes where people play instruments, it can go one or two ways. It looks really good, or it looks fucking stupid. And I think it's because I played guitar and I know how shit works. I look at and I pay attention to that shit. And a lot of people, when people are playing acoustic guitar, they're playing nothing in rhythm. It's not the same chords. It's like just they're playing utter fucking stupid nonsense they didn't even try. And it like makes me mad, like actually mad. And I watched that, and it's filmed in a way where they hide his hands for some of it. But when they show the hands, it looks like he's playing at least the right rhythm. I don't know piano so much, but I was like, that looks like it would be the right notes.
Yeah.
And then when he came out and said, oh, he actually did play it, I was like, makes sense. It's like, makes sense.
Yeah, I was
shocked. Of course, John Cena can play the fucking piano.
his fingers could move that well. He's a fucking professional wrestler for 20 years. They get their fingers broken all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the dude's got big ass hands too.
I really like that scene. I think the ending to the episode before that episode was the most emotional part of the show, where they were like flashing back to the fact that he had killed his brother and like his dad made him kill people and shit. Just the fact that it was set to "House of Pain" by Faster Pussycat, which is such a depressing song. I was like, really holy shit.
I mean, like, we all know James is going to do the soundtracks, but I think he might have outdone himself on this show. Like, honestly.
Yeah, it was perfect, dude. It was so good. Steel Panther in the finale. Let's go.
Yeah.
Worth it, dude.
And even that song is really sad. It's all about like kind of trying to make the people around you like love you, which is like, it's kind of was everyone in the team. You know what I mean? It's like they all had some sort of crazy emotional or psychological baggage, and it was really amazing to see the team really come together and find their own places within themselves and among the team. It was really nice.
Yeah,
it was beautiful how he tied it all together and brought it all at the end. It was amazing, and the finale was just fucking bonkers. I kind of figured it'd be bonkers after you saw fucking Economos and Vigilante kill like a mob of racists and shit. Like you're figured, yeah, it's probably gonna be pretty crazy. And then that whole fight scene happens with the butterflies, and you're like, what the fuck?
That was such a cool
brutal
scene.
Shit I've ever seen.
Just the choreography alone, when he like threw the shield up and then what did he like shot it into the dude's neck?
Into the dude's
right to his head, yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Like a nice surprise, dude. I was like, just like fucking sitting on the edge of the couch, like, yes, the whole time with that fucking shield with like the giant dove of peace on it. I was like, fuck, dude, this is so sick.
And that whole scene being set to the theme song was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, beautiful, dude.
Like I was
so
waiting
perfect.
For when is he going to use it? And then
it was so good. I do feel bad for the cow though. The cow is just being a cow, man.
The cow. I feel bad for Adebayo, dude.
She's fine.
Being shot.
She lived, bro.
Yeah,
dude. But she got shot into. God, Lord knows what that smelled like, dude.
All these giant.
I mean, she's alive.
Aliens keep dying though, and all they want to do is be left alone. This thing was tied up and milked against its will. Starro was brought here and then tortured for like 50 years.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I do love how when Economos says he's like, no more kaijus, no more kaijus, no more kaijus. I was fucking losing it when he was saying that.
Yeah, it's like no, just running up the stairs. I was like, oh yeah, well I understand that one, Economos.
We got a freaky kaiju up in this shit.
Jesus. And was I don't remember. Did we see Hardcore in Suicide Squad? She's not in the office, right?
She's in the room.
She is. Yeah,
she is in the room. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Hardcore and Economos were the ones who returned. I mean, we see Amanda Waller like twice in the show, but they're the ones who were from the movie, and then Myrn and Adebayo were the two newbies. Right.
And
I skipped over Junior Master too.
Didn't they say that she's going to be in Black Adam too?
It's the rumor.
Yeah.
Adebayo?
Black Adam.
No,
Hardcore.
Oh,
Hardcore. And it's going to somehow link into the next Suicide Squad.
Interesting.
I mean, she's kind of the leader, and now Task Force X is public.
I don't know.
I guess that's all a fair point, actually.
Yeah,
it's
very interesting. I did skip over Judo Master, who looked over the Goths, and he was just a hilarious character, all in all.
Yeah.
I do like how they finally paid off, and he's like, "You don't understand about the butterflies," and then Adebayo shot him. Because in the end, we saw that the butterflies really came here to save the fucking planet, but they were just doing it any means necessary. And again, another villain that seems like it's a relatable villain. You're like, okay. Like, I mean, they're kind of doing this for the betterment of us. They're killing some people on the way, but all in all, it'll make the planet stay around longer. That makes sense. And
I love how the parallels with him and Peacemaker's vow, which he made, that we found out he made it because of him accidentally killing his brother. He's like, he doesn't want anyone to die meaningless anymore. I do think it's amazingly hilarious that he's like, I don't give a fuck about aliens, I'll kill them. Whatever. Because they're like, oh, are you gonna have a problem with killing the butterflies? He's like, nah, they're fucking aliens, I don't give a fuck. The person's already dead, so whatever.
Dude, when they go into the fucking factory And he's like, all right, play it cool, play it cool, play it cool. And
The
then
X-ray.
she's like, hello, ma'am. And he's just like, boom, just fucking blasts her fucking head right open. And she's like, what the hell? And he's like, X-ray vision, man, be cool. Like, you think I would just shoot an innocent person? And just like walks by her with the shotgun out. I was like, oh my God, dude.
That scene was so badass. And the red goggles that come down for the X-ray.
I've been telling
sick.
people, I think one of my favorite takeaways from John Cena is he has done something, at least for me personally, that no one's done since Samuel L. Jackson. Like, there's not a single person in the world I love hearing say motherfucker more than Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I mean?
Fair point.
There is no action star that I will ever enjoy saying fuck more than John Cena now after this show. Like, just the way he says it and the fact that he's fucking John Cena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Every time he says fuck, I literally chuckle at the TV. And like, everyone's like, it's like, you think that would lose its allure? And I'm like, no, it does not.
No.
Like, give me all of it.
Yeah, he's really coming to his own as an actor in the movie and the show, and I'm really stoked. Like, I loved him in Blockers and everything else I've seen him in. Like Fast 9, he was like fine, but I mean, it's not like that movie is like peak cinema or anything.
You want to know what he's really good in, Sean? Best Friends. Did you watch that like B budget movie yet? Best Friends.
Is it Best Friends or Vacation Friends?
Oh, sorry, Vacation Friends. Yes.
That movie sucked. It was so bad.
Okay, I was laughing.
And I don't say movies sucked. That movie was not funny.
What?
None of that movie was funny. It was like the most trying hard to be funny movie I've ever seen.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious.
None of that movie was funny.
You're also straight edge, Sean. You don't know how to have fun. All right.
Sam didn't think it was funny either. She's not straight edge. She was like, that movie was terrible.
Well, anyways, he plays a completely.
I was disappointed by that movie. I thought it was gonna be funny.
Well, see, I thought it was funny. Not like hilarious, but I thought it was funny.
I seriously, it's like, I think I put it in one of my most disappointing movies of 2021 because I was super stoked to watch it. And it was a movie that was trying to be funny for an hour and a half. Like, it was trying so hard to be like raunchy and out there. And then you see him in stuff like this or Blockers, and you're like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. This is how you do it.
Blockers
this is actually funny. Yeah, Blockers was great. I wasn't a fan of that movie, and I'm not a fan of many things. That's true.
That's true. My point was, like, you know, that's like the most extreme, like, funny version of him we've seen. Like, I wasn't sure how he was going to do in that role.
A little bit.
No, well, Blockers and that movie that you just said was terrible. Like, Vacation Friends, but him, like, I haven't seen him act like that spunky before. Yeah. You know what I mean?
True.
So his depth is growing. That was the point I was trying to make. Not talk about that terrible movie for 5 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, he really impressed me in this show. I thought he did great because I've seen him in like small things, like his role in Sisters, which is great, but it's not very big of a
He's
part.
the drug dealer.
Yeah, he's all
with a huge neck too. Like, loved it, dude.
Yeah, he's like this very small part in like Trainwreck too, which it was also good, but again, it was like a scene. It's like very hard to judge. You know,
he's like Fast 9. The dude has what, like 6 lines? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's kind of the thing with like Batista. Like, Batista's really only good in certain things. Like, he's good with Drax because Drax is a dry character and his voice is just kind of a dry guy.
So dry.
So like, but out of it in like other movies, it doesn't really work all that great. Yeah. But sometimes it does.
Well, when he was the bad guy in Scepter and didn't even talk at all, that was like perfect for him.
I liked him in Stuber and My Spy, which were kind of the same movie, just different sidekicks. One was a kid and one was Camille Nanjiani. But Stuber was fucking hilarious. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, see, both of those looked stupid to me.
See, I didn't watch Stuber, but My Spy was actually good.
Stuber is like funny. My Spy was surprisingly better than I thought it would be. It was not like it was amazing, but it was fun. It was really fun.
That movie was leaps and bounds more impressive than I expected. I was like, I was just like kind of high one night and just put it on because I was on my like sleep edibles. And I was like, okay, this was like more enjoyable than I had previously predicted. Yeah. You know? But
it was the same with me too. Yeah.
I also think it's because I'm a wrestling nerd. I'm just a sucker for Batista, dude.
I do love Batista.
I can't say I hate Batista. I did see him in an interview the other day and it looked like he got collagen injections in his lips. And I was like, no, Batista, no, what are you doing?
Please stop it.
He had like duck lips.
I mean, him and Jericho have that like Him and Jericho have that like fading rock star look that they both love to do for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Batista's in shape.
Yeah,
Jericho
fair.
not so much.
Fair. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Batista in the next Expendables movie.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
Actually,
that would
no,
make
you know what? They only
lot
go
of
to those
sense.
movies when their career's on the way out. So never mind. So he's got another couple of years.
I don't know. He did a couple of like straight to videos with Stallone already, so I'm sure he'd do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. What's that movie where they get paid to break out of prison?
Yeah, it's like Jailbreak
Escape
2 or
Plan
whatever.
Escape Plan. So the third one is my
There's
favorite.
a third one?
Yeah. Again, dude, when I had to find the right edible dosage to help with my life over COVID, and so it inspired
I understand
me
you,
to watch a lot
brother. I
it
understand you.
inspired me to watch a lot of movies that I normally wouldn't give it a chance to. So Escape Plan was one of those movies. I'm also a sucker for fucking Sylvester Stallone.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like I can't
Fair,
kick the
fair.
man. But the third one, like, so Batista's like the dude where he's like, it's like hey man, I did this favor for you 20 years ago. Like, I need the emergency pickup. Like, basically just like come blow the wall in this building and rescue me. That's what Batista is in the first two movies. And it's and in the third movie, he's like, I'm calling in that debt you never finish repaying me. And like Batista just shows up and literally just blows a wall in the prison they're in and has the shotgun shells, like the pump shotgun, that is like the explosive rounds. So it's literally just 20 minutes of him just walking through a building, blowing shit up and lighting shit on fire with no dialogue. And I was like, this is all I ever want from you, Batista. That's all. Like, just give me that. Like, don't talk. Just show me the muscles and just blow everything up. Like, that's like, it was like, again, I was high, but it was perfect, dude. Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
The real question is, have you seen The Scorpion King 3 featuring one Dave Batista?
What?
That's a thing?
Yes.
That was one of his
Holy
first
shit.
movies, straight to video. Randy Couture, Dave Batista.
That was,
Wow.
the Scorpion King 3
Wow.
was the Expendables before the Expendables happened, Sean.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. I had no idea there was a third one, and Batista was in it. Holy shit, that is insane.
Yeah.
How poetic that The Rock's first role was Scorpion King and Batista's first
Yeah.
role was Scorpion King.
That's
Poetry. It rhymes.
that's an interesting parallel. Yes.
Yeah, it's very strange. It is
We
very
got
strange.
really off subject. Fuck.
It's all right. It happens. It's a podcast, man.
So watch Peacekeeper. It's fucking amazing. Peacekeeper. Wow. Peacemaker. Wow. I'm done.
Yeah,
Bye.
like what's Peacekeeper, bro? What's a Peacekeeper? So obviously, in the end, the good guys prevail, or I guess they're good guys. I would say Peacemaker's a good guy now, right? More of an
Yeah.
anti-hero, I guess. I don't know. Right?
He's like
I think he's a good guy.
he's like he's like their version of the Punisher. Or he's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy. Like, he does good things in a bad way.
I am very curious to see how season 2 goes, especially with his dad kind of haunting his brain. It's kind of him losing his mind. I'm very interested to see how they play with that in season 2 and what season 2 is even about. If it kind of rubs them back in with Task Force X, like what really goes. I mean, obviously the team bonded very well, but it seems like they kind of all went in their own separate ways in a way. I mean, it seems like Adebayo is still with Argus and this whole Task Force X thing, but Economos goes back to Belle Reeve prison, but I guess that could be roped right back in. It's and I am wondering what Judo Master is going to do, because he was obviously super upset about the butterflies. He was kind of with their plan. And that's what I was kind of talking about before we went in that big rant about how the butterflies and Peacemaker kind of had the same goal, but Peacemaker chose his friends. And like Adebayo said, he's like, you should let go of that you should not let that belief run your whole entire life. It's fucking crazy to do something like that. And he chose his friends over it, which was, a nice full circle moment. But it is interesting to see like what Judo Master is going to do after this. Is he going to go after Peacemaker again, or is he just going to we'll never see him again?
well, the other thing that's interesting is like, at the end of the Suicide Squad, there was like the good members of the team, and then but then like they were obviously at odds with Peacemaker, and now Peacemaker's a different person. So it's like, but Adebayo, does she still work for Argus, or is it just because she out?
Seems like it.
You know what I mean? She outed the project without him, and Waller obviously didn't know she was doing it. So are we going to get like the real Task Force X and then the Suicide? You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple parallels we could do. Also, you know, the thing at the very end of the movie makes it all interesting with how everything's going to tie in, you know, to everything. You know, and then, you know, the thing I wanted to ask you, Sean, and I'm actually very surprised you haven't brought this up. I'm also a little disappointed you haven't brought this up. What was on the building that Abigail walks out of when she does the fucking speech? Because I swear I saw spray paint with something about the Batman and like the flyers and the posters that were put up on that like shack she comes out of. I swear were like a whole bunch of like fan service things. And I'm like,
I know
really
there was
surprised.
posters of heroes drawn as manatees. There was like a bat manatee and shit like that. I know there was that on it. I know there was other stuff, but I don't really know what else was on it. But I know there was superheroes drawn as manatees, which is cool.
Like, I didn't go
like
back
that.
and like pause it. You know what I mean? But I was like,
That's art, Joel.
I know, Sean. I'm sorry, Sean. Fuck.
Another thing I did want to bring up is that characters that have been now made DCU canon, like Kite Man, Batmite, Matter Eater Lad, fucking Green Arrow is now
Green Arrow,
DCU canon. Green fucking Arrow is canon, baby.
He likes to get pegged at furry conventions, apparently.
Brony conventions, even worse.
Oh my god.
Even worse.
How
like
about
how they're
that,
like-
Good
that
for him.
ending cameo?
That's why I wanted to talk about. That's why I really wanted to talk about.
But let's rip it. Let's rip it,
Because-
Sean.
As soon as they show up and you see the silhouettes, you're like, okay, I was like, this is fucking dope, but we're just gonna see the silhouettes. There's no way they're gonna show them. And then when Jason Momoa showed up, I was like, holy shit. And I love how Peacemaker goes,
Yeah, go fuck some more fish. He's like, I fucking hate that rumor. And I'm like, holy fuck. Jason Momoa's Aquaman is swearing. This is wild. And then fucking Ezra Miller Flash is there. And he's like, it's not a rumor. Which is a great tie-in to when he's at the class. And they're like, have you ever met the Flash? And he's like, yes. And just like everyone else who's met him, he's a fucking, what does he say? Something D-bag. Like he can't stand him. It was like he said he's a douchebag, which I thought was hilarious. And like then Barry makes this joke to his obvious friend and Justice League, you know, teammates. He's like, it's not a rumor. He's like, fuck you, Barry. And that was the best thing I've ever seen.
The fact that it was those two was just like, oh, like because even Trina was like she right away. She thinks Jason Momoa is a beautiful human being. So she was like, that's Jason Momoa. And I was like, we'll see. And then he turned and I was like, it's him. So that was that. I think that's cool that they're trusting James Gunn enough with something like that. Like this is
and
what
they did foreshadow it a little in the beginning when Obadiah was on the phone with her mom. She's like, can you bring in the Justice League or something? Which I thought was a funny line at the time. I did not think it would pay off at the end of this episode at all.
Well, but the DC hasn't given us anything like this yet. You know what I mean? Like other than at the end of Shazam when he's like, oh, this is my friend Superman, but it's just a voice line. You know? Like we don't actually see anything. You know?
Mean, same thing happened here. It was just a shadowy version of Superman.
Well, no, but at least we saw Aquaman and the Flash. Is my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, so the fact that the execs trusted Gunn enough to allow that cameo to happen, I think that's a good sign of where they're going to allow the DC thing to go. I think they just need to be careful because at least a lot of my casual like nerd friends are already getting really confused with the like, how do we have three Batmans at once? Like, oh, it's just
dude. Even not casual people are confused.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, isn't the Suicide Squad like a reboot? And it's like, no, not really at all. It's just kind of a continuation. It didn't really undo anything, but you don't really need to watch it. And then it's like the Robert Pattinson thing isn't connected. And then, you know, you're like, don't worry about the shows besides Peacemaker because that gets way more confusing than even the movies. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, now they're doing Batgirl and now they're doing the Flash movie.
Well, those are going to be movies. Yeah, Batgirl's going to be a movie too.
Oh, is Batgirl a movie? I thought it was a series.
Yeah. It's going to be an HBO Max exclusive movie.
Green Lantern is the series. That's right. My bad.
Which we don't even, what's that even fucking happening anymore? Like, when's the last time we heard anything on that?
I'm assuming that it's just being kept under wraps because they don't want anybody to know that Diggle is Green Lantern. I'm assuming. But
there was do you know how these cameos happened? It's actually like a really, really cool story. So, well, it does help that both of them were filming their movies at the time, but they actually got filmed while James Gunn has been doing Guardians 3. So these cameos were filmed like on a Marvel set.
Oh,
which is wild.
Yeah, so
and
cool.
The guy who played Myrn is going to be a big part in Guardians 3, and he actually did his screen test on the Peacemaker set.
So it's kind of like a nice back and forth. The
big two playing nice with each other.
I think that's really cool.
I love
crazy.
that.
Well, I think that it's
wild.
That's a testament to like James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like who else can
For
get
sure.
those two to play well with each other? Like so far, nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very true. It seems like he's kind of done with Marvel after this, though, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is.
Well, you know what?
I feel like
DC does need a savior. DC needs someone to swoop in.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think DC is in as bad shape as everyone says it is. The last
they've kind of
bunch of
bounced
movies
back
have
a
been
little
really
bit.
good.
Yeah. No,
I'm not, Aquaman was cool.
I'm not
Shazam was
disagreeing,
dope.
but what I'm saying is like if they're gonna pull off this grandiose vision, they need someone that's gonna stick around for a minute. And I think James is the perfect person. Like, think about it. Okay, people will always go see Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman movies. But now you're using the auxiliary heroes and their rogues gallery. So who better to make those B and C heroes and their villains relevant than James Gunn? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I want to see John Cena's ludicrous ass Peacemaker interact with fucking Shazam more now. Like I want to see it.
Yeah.
Like I want to see The Rock fly in his Black Adam and smash the ground, and Peacemaker's like, not today, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, as stupid as it might be, and he'll end up in the hospital again. I still think it'd be hilarious. Like, I'm
fair.
Yeah.
Josh, is there anything you want to add on that cameo? What were you thinking when it happened?
I was wondering. Well, I was thinking a lot. At first, I was like, "All right, there's no Cyborg, there's no Batman."
Of course,
and
Makes
then
sense.
I was like, "Are we gonna see Superman and Wonder Woman?" And I was like, "There's no fucking way." Like once we saw Aquaman and the Flash, I was like, "Are we gonna see them?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't like people want to see Cavill as Superman so bad."
The pose that they had the Superman doing when he was floating, I was not a fan of. It was
I felt like you could even like see the curl on his hair. It was like a little cartoony.
Yeah,
it was a little cartoony.
I think they made it ambiguous because of the whole Supergirl of it all. That's been like the rumor, maybe. I don't really know. Because I did see another thing that I don't think this is confirmed at all, but that they said the events of Peacemaker take place after the events of the Flash movie.
Yeah,
which I don't know if that's true, but that does make things a little more interesting. I guess we won't really know until after that movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, that movie is kind of like a very important part of how the DCEU is going to kind of work and be viewed.
Yeah.
After that, it's a very big question mark with that one to see how things kind of come back.
I mean, if we're getting Snyder Cut Flash, I think we'll be fine. But if we're getting not Snyder Cut Flash, I'm worried. Let's just be honest.
I don't know. I mean, the
things we've seen look cool, but I mean, this doesn't really tell us much.
Exactly.
It's been very little that we've seen.
Yeah,
I mean, that little teaser that DC posted, I was like, that got me stoked for everything that's coming out. It didn't show us a ton, but I was like, I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Really cool.
They put out so much promotional stuff the weekend of the Super Bowl. Like we were getting trailers for all of those movies, and we didn't get a single fucking one.
Nope.
Yeah, that's true. It was just
crazy.
that sizzle reel beforehand, right? Yeah, I kind of when that came out before, I was like, oh, they're gonna put out like a fucking Black Adam trailer or something.
Yeah, and then
you kind of felt like they were gonna do something.
They put up pictures of the Flash, and then they put up pictures of Aquaman, and then they put them all like they each had their own like Warner Brothers colored like logo thing that they were doing. Like they put out a whole bunch of posts. Like it was gonna like this Sunday you're gonna get trailers.
Yeah.
And then all we got was it when then we got Doctor Strange. Maybe they found out the Doctor Strange was dropping, and they were like, "Fuck no,
abort, take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out." We don't want to fuck that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You don't want to know what's funny is I wouldn't actually doubt if Josh was right because
Yeah, it
this
might
is
be.
this is adjacent. This is adjacent to nerd culture. So like, I think it was yesterday they had kind of announced. So Battlefield is a reoccurring, first-person shooter series. The last one was received terribly, like just terribly. They kind of released it early. It wasn't finished building, and like in the list of reasons why the release failed, they dead ass said the reason this game failed, aside from like the engine not working properly and us not giving the team enough time, is because the surprise release of the Halo multiplayer. Like they're legit blaming it on another industry move. And so if people are willing to come out, no, but what I'm saying is if people are willing to come out and say stuff like that, maybe the culture's changed where they're like, you know what, we're going to be smart and not compete right now.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
I love that it was Doctor Strange, but I'm still mad. I want my Obi-Wan trailer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
Don't start with me, Sean Mott. Don't start with me.
It's coming.
No, it is weird though. Like that's like we've kind of bounced back from COVID in the way that we are actually getting things released, but like it really did mess up a lot of the promotional stuff because like usually by now we'd have trailers for things coming out in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Like it's the Super Bowl. If there was a Harry Potter movie coming out, like there would have been.
Yeah.
Like there is, but like we already had a trailer before the Super Bowl. Like if there was one coming out in November, we'd have a trailer at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and Disney's so invested in its shows. I'm like actually, aside from being an angry fan, I'm like legitimately confused.
As far as what's to come, I would like to see them do something different than like. I don't expect the butterflies to come back, but I kind of hope they don't. Like I would like to see something
like they're gonna die.
Yeah. Like a ghost cult or something, like some sort of like magic cult or something weird, like Scooby-Doo it up, like make it something different every season.
Scooby-Doo this shit.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo this shit.
Scooby-Doo this shit. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's a good. I can see why some people might be upset of that. There's kind of two kaijus in both kind of things, but it's not like the kaiju is really the main problem of it. It was more of the butter, and I guess there was kind of like the whole mind control thing too. It's kind of similar things in both projects.
Yeah,
but I definitely did not think we were going to get mind controlling aliens when we saw the show. Like they kept a lot under wraps. Like pretty much the whole show.
They did a really good job. Yeah. I mean, I would say
the fact they kept the whole Justice League cameo secret crazy. Dude.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like he killed his dad, but he's seeing his dad's ghost, and he saved the world twice now. So maybe the next one is we get a real world threat, and it's the whole season is just about him realizing he's not an asshole, but at the same time realizing he is an asshole. Like he was raised like an asshole, but he's not actually an asshole.
Maybe.
Does that make sense?
I'm very curious to see how season 2 goes. Like we said, I don't really know what it's going to be about.
I'm calling it right now. Now that Hardcore is the leader, that makes room for another person. And I think the new recruit will be like a tech person that builds all of Peacemaker's new helmets so he can keep getting cool new helmets that do cool things.
Yeah, I don't think
it was dope seeing the trick helmets.
Yeah, the pocket dimension with his dad. I don't think we've seen the end of that either.
Oh yeah, they did go back to it.
Yeah,
without him, maybe he takes over the house instead of the trailer. I mean, he was at the end of the trailer. He was at the end, but I guess we'll see.
But he also said like he doesn't know how they work. Like he didn't know how to turn the tracking device off and shit because he's like, I don't know, I didn't build these things.
Yeah.
It's very true.
He tapes grenades to missiles.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I do love that. He's just a jacked dude. Like he's no superhero, just a jacked dude.
Right.
Like
a jacked dude who's like a fucking like obviously like an insane trained killer, but he is just a dude. Yes.
Yeah, but also the real question is like, is Vigilante a bad guy?
Vigilante's the best. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I love him. He is a complete and utter psychopath. Yes. Who's just loves killing people for some reason.
When he jumps on White Dragon's back and just like starts stabbing him, I was like, what is going on? Where did that come? I was like, where did he come from? Like that was so tight, dude. And like you said, Sean, that prison scene with the dad was like, oh, this is a thing of beauty.
Oh my god, that was. I want to know how many takes that took, because I do not understand how they did that full thing with no breaking. Honestly, that's the most impressive part of any of it, other than the actual writing of it, because it was Jeff's kiss. But that's all I always wonder when there's something so fucking funny. I was like, how many takes of this? Because like, how do they do this with keeping a straight face? Like, that's honestly probably one of the most impressive part of acting, is like when shit is so fucking funny and they're so deadpan. Like, I could never do that in a million years. I'd just be like crying on the ground. Like, this is so fucking funny. Like, or even the scene where fucking John Cena just spitballs all those names. Like, how do you keep a straight face during that? He just keeps going and going and going and going. It like just continually gets funnier. Like, how do you keep a straight face during that? It's insane.
That's where they just keep the camera rolling and they just take it as many times as they need.
See what they can get. Yeah. But
man, this show is good. I do want to say I want to get a rating out of this from all of you guys. So, out of 5 Peacemaker helmets, or no.
Out of Eagles, how many Eagles out of 5
do you give Peacemaker?
Josh?
From an enjoyability standpoint, I give it 5 Eagles. I was just on another show, and out of 10, I gave it 9.5, saying that the first like 3 episodes or so, I think there was like a little too much of them saying "fuck" for fuck's sake. Like every other word out of every single person's mouth was "fuck." Not that I'm offended by it, just like more of like it could be written better than that. Like, because the story's so well written that the dialogue should be. You can be more clever. Mix it up a bit. There's more bad words you can use than just "fuck."
True.
I'm gonna give it a 5 Eagles out of 5 Eagles because I am the consumer of too many fucks. Like those first 3 episodes were written for me, Josh. Like I love it. It's got butt rock. You know what I mean? Like it's
hair metal, not butt rock. Excuse me.
Okay, you're right.
Have some class, sir. Some class.
There's hair.
Do not put that on the same level. They're not the same.
There's a lot of good rock and roll references, but like a lot of good like period-esque-ness. I feel like I actually brought him to bring up the parallel to Cobra Kai that you brought up earlier. Like
he is Johnny Lawrence.
Johnny Lawrence. Yeah. The problem is Johnny Lawrence is ignorant and stuck in the past, like almost willfully. Peacemaker was raised that way and then spent a lot of time in jail. So the whole like, maybe I am an asshole, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm just the product of an ass. Like the whole like pseudo minor internal struggle, I thought was like the nice little icing on top of the cake. But I did, 5 Eagles out of 5 Eagles. I mean, also, bro, 2 eagle hugs, like.
That's true.
That second eagle hug, man, that was emotional as shit.
When holy shit! Like,
I was like, do not kill this fucking eagle! I swear to fucking God.
We were fucking screaming in the living room, like, he better be okay. Like, dude,
even that scene in the finale when he picks up the helmet, I was like, if he gets like shot out of the sky, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. That's all I thought of. I was like, don't you fucking dare.
I think
I'm with you guys though. 5 Eagles out of 5. I love 5s across the boards. I love this show.
I did love at the end of the very like one of the last scenes when she's like, "Why'd you decide to stay with us to Adebayo?" And she's like, "I saw an eagle hug a man. It was a sign." She's like, "Yeah, it was probably a sign to run the other fucking way or something like that." Like
she's
whatever.
Like,
she's like, "Fuck!" I love that actress because I loved her on Orange is the New Black. Yeah. So I loved seeing her in this role. So.
Yeah, she was great in this. She was really, really good. I do hope they bring the whole main cast back, which I imagine they would. I don't see why they wouldn't. And I can't wait to see what new intro we get for season 2, because obviously they have to do a new one. Half the fucking people in there are dead.
Yeah, new intro, and then also, like Josh said, who's our addition? Who's our auxiliary?
Yeah, I love Josh's idea of a tech man. A tech
who's our new supporting hero? Yeah,
that would be dope. That would be
because is Diebeard coming back? You know what I mean? Or is he staying? I'm assuming him being at that specific prison is going to tie in the second season.
I would assume, yeah.
Like what crazy dickwad locked up in there are they going to try to, help Peacemaker?
True that, yeah. And that's another big question is I know we're getting a season 2, and there hasn't really been talks of follow-up Suicide Squad, whether they call it the Suicide Squad 2 or 3, because it technically is 3. That's where it gets kind of confusing. I guess they'll probably just have like a surname rather than having a number.
We don't even need.
And-
Just give us. Bloodsport versus Deadshot. Just give me that. That's all I want.
I want them on a team together, man.
No, I want them.
I would
fighting,
love that.
man.
But they're both good guys, kind of.
Whatever, dude.
I think season 2, yeah, he will probably get somebody out of that prison that's like his. This is your new teammate, which the whole time Vigilante will be jealous. It's his new best friend.
Yes.
And I think they will be like best friends. And then it'll turn out that he's working for the bad guy.
Yeah, or something. Yeah,
Ooh.
something.
Yeah, I like that. Josh here fucking spitting hot fire.
Yeah. You out there, James Gunn? You
Yeah.
listening? Bring your boy. Holla at your boy. I got lots of ideas.
You got the same look going on right now. You
Yeah.
can just kind of switch on set. No one will even notice.
Yeah, we both like hot ladies, sir. We can do this.
We can do
Oh
this.
my god. Oh.
Like, yeah, he comes out and he's like, yeah, like you guys have your stunt doubles. I do too. This is Josh. I'm bringing him in.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Be your
It's
stunt
cool.
director.
Just change your name. To Josh. Yeah, dude. Josh.
Yeah,
Gunn.
you'll be a stunt cock.
There you go.
James Gunn's stunt cock.
Just change your
nice.
Twitter handle to Josh Gunn,
Yeah,
and then you'll get
nail the J
tweeting
again.
James. Just keep tweeting him like, dude, I'm your Twitter double. It's fine. Like, what's up? Let me know when you need me
Yeah.
on set.
We are friends.
Yeah.
We are friends. That is confirmed.
Just tweet James Gunn. Can I be the vigilante to your Peacemaker?
Yeah, I'll just start following her.
Do that.
So before we get out of here, you guys plug what you got going on. Josh, share all your amazing shows with us. Tell people
hell
where they
yeah.
can find you.
Sure, yeah. I'm the host of the 4 Nerds by Nerds podcast. Every Monday, we do things like movie commentaries or Jeopardies, where I have guests on. We do Jeopardy episodes or movie reviews, all sorts of nerdy fun things. We are on Twitter, FMBN Podcast, and on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff at FMBN, the number 4 and the letter U. I also do a horror movie podcast with Chris from the Geek Peak and Miles from the Distant Podcast, where we talk about horror movies and all sorts of horror-related stuff. It's real fun. New episodes every Wednesday. Find us everywhere at H Pod.
Hell fucking yeah.
And you guys, if you've been listening or watching the show, you know Chris. You just spent many weeks with him talking Book of Boba Fett. So go listen to him and Josh talk together about horror. It's amazing. Like I said, my favorite horror podcast. I love it. It's a great time. It is a great time. And again, like Josh mentioned earlier, I was on his show. We talked about disaster movies. It was amazing. It's fucking hilarious. I love hanging out with this guy. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best. Now, Joel, plug your fucking shit.
kinda
Everyone knows, but say it.
I kind of want to hang out with him more.
He's the best.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should do more stuff, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like we can dock or something or whatever. Whatever floats your boat, dude.
Yeah. Whatever the kids are into these days.
Yeah, whatever they call it. knocking boots, whatever it is.
Rubbing sticks.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh,
there we
Starting
go.
starting a
There we
fire.
go.
That's
Those of you
right.
that are new here, I'm Joel Cupcake. You can find me everywhere online at Joel Cupcake. Right there on the screen, Joel Cupcake. I have a YouTube channel that I do gaming. I have interviews with dudes and dudettes from the music industry and bands. I do a lot of self episodes. I'm actually launching season 2 of my podcast, which is going to be a lot of like solo stuff with me and unique and interesting and funny topics. I also run for that. You can just follow me for all that lovely stuff. The show is called Joel Cupcake Live. It's a YouTube channel. Feel free to follow it. Or subscribe. YouTube, wrong platform. My bad. And then I also run a podcast called Pex Pals Podcast. It is an Apex Legends based podcast for all you first-person shooter gamers out there. I have a co-host with me, Calvan, who is a hilarious man, and he is a Twitch streamer, and we do that together. So if you like that video game, it's just at Pex Pals Podcast everywhere, worldwide. And I'm Joel Cupcake worldwide.
Worldwide.
And I fucking, prestige, baby. Prestige.
Worldwide.
That's me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so
So
much.
much for doing this with me. You guys rule.
Thank you, Sean Mott, for having us.
Hell yeah, buddy. Thank you.
Everybody, don't forget, like, subscribe, and follow Metalcore Nerds. Be sure to leave reviews on all your platforms. You can now, I believe it is subscribe and rate additionally on Spotify. And I believe Sean has it set up. If you are tired of all the boring and individual and unique podcasting apps, I believe Sean has it set up. So if you have Facebook, the app, you can listen to it just straight off your Facebook mobile device. So you don't need to download one of these 5,000 other third-party apps to enjoy this show. Also, Sean does stream every episode and place it right there on his lovely YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe there. Give him a follow. Link will be in the comments for him, myself, Josh, the show, and the Metalcore Nerds merch store, which you should also visit.
Now say
It's
all
all
of
down
that
below.
say all of that like Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
I don't know if you can pull that off.
I don't know if I can pull that off, brother. I can do a
You
really
just sound
bad,
like a terrible Hulk Hogan.
yeah, I can just do a really bad Hulk Hogan the whole time if you want.
No, I don't want that.
Let me
I'm
tell
not
you something,
opposed.
brother. Drink your water, watch your Metalcore Nerds, listen to your For Nerds by Nerds, and say your fucking prayers. No?
Amazing.
No?
Amazing. Well, I can't top anything like that. So until next time, see you later, nerds.